Well, good Saturday morning. It is New Thought Talk. I am the Reverend Steve Walling from the Spiritual Awareness Center located in beautiful downtown Madera. And boy, I got to tell you, I have got a guest today. I have been looking forward to doing this interview for a while. My guest is Skyping us from Brooklyn, New York. She is gorgeous. She is fabulous. She is the Reverend Yolanda. Reverend Yolanda, welcome to the show.
Hey, everybody.
So, listen, I want to start off right from the get with the $64,000 question. The question that's on everybody's mind. How is it that you made the decision to be a guitar player?
Well, I've been playing the guitar since I was 16. I started in my church, and we formed a gospel bluegrass band. So my whole life has been pretty much about music and art, and that's what I think is my mission in the world, really.
Oh, that's great. And, it's been a lot of fun, Reverend Yolanda, as we've had a chance to talk prior to doing the show. But getting to know you, and we're going to get to know you a little bit more today, but being able to experience this whole thing that is going on around you, and we're going to talk about the movie and all this other stuff going on. But first, let's get started. Tell me about the genesis of Reverend Yolanda. How did you get to where you're at today, sitting in front of that camera, talking to me?
Well, like I said, it really started. I was born in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, which is called the hit recording capital of the world. And, my given name by my parents is Roger Anthony Mapes. Well, I grew up singing and playing the guitar and everybody calling me Tony. Then, I came out as a gay man, and my interaction with the church at that time didn't, connect with the traditional thought. And so I left the church, and I left the music that I loved, and I always wanted to be a music minister. And but I left all of that and moved to New York City to become a theater major and an actor. And I developed my presence as Yolanda through meeting a group of people called the Radical Fairies, which are gay, lesbian, trans people.
Wait a second. They're called the what?
Radical Fairies.
The Radical Fairies. That's great. Now are they like a musical group, or is it like a company of people?
No. The Radical Fairies are a spiritual movement
cool.
amongst the LGBT community, which is very much based in earth and goddess wisdom. So the connection with the Radical Fairies helped me understand my own experience as a being that represents both divine masculine and divine feminine. And that's how Yolanda really began to bloom, was with the nurturing and the experience of living with the Radical Fairies. I moved to Vermont, and I lived in a commune. I helped establish a Radical Fairy commune called Fairy Camp Destiny.
Oh, cool.
And during that whole process of living in Vermont for many years, Yolanda just blossomed and bloomed, and I created a rock and roll band, and I became somewhat of a big figure in the Vermont community, certainly in music and with my television show and with my effect on the political arena at that time in Vermont, because that was when marriage equality was just beginning to happen in the United States.
Yep.
So I became very involved in Vermont politics and helped the trans community come to the fore. So it was a very exciting time in my life. and we were having a wonderful, wonderful experience of music and spirituality and LGBT rights, human rights. And about that time in 2001, I decided to move back to New York City. And during that process, I met my husband, and we started on a spiritual journey together, which studying A Course in Miracles, which led us to One Spirit Interfaith Seminary, where we both became reverends. And then as I graduated from seminary, I took on being Reverend Yolanda and created what I now call my music ministry, which is called Reverend Yolanda's Old Time Gospel Hour, which is how Ike Allen with the movie got involved with me by seeing the show.
Reverend Yolanda's Old Time Gospel Hour. That's
Yes,
great. Now, you said you had a TV show in Vermont.
Yes.
And so, and you were active in the LGBT community as a proponent, a representative, an activist, if you will. And so that's really your whole your beingness right now is kind of morphed around that, and then you became a minister. Now, the thing about being a minister for me, and I'm going to make the assumption that, for you likewise, it's not a vocation, it's a calling. You get called and pulled into this, and you never know where God's Spirit's going to lead you in this, but it led you to this Yolanda's Old Time Gospel Hour, and where does this play? Where do you find the audience for Reverend Yolanda's Old Time Gospel Hour?
Well, it's absolutely wonderful because since I have an interfaith perspective, I'm not, I'm not putting out there any sort of particular belief system other than self-empowerment and finding your divine connection, So I take the old-timey gospel songs and everything because I grew up with them and I love them. And I also write my own original music. So I've been a singer-songwriter and a performer for over 25 years as Yolanda. And so I already had an audience. But what I do now with Reverend Yolanda's Old Time Gospel Hour is I really reach out to build bridges among diverse communities. So what we do is we hold the show in a theater space, a bar, a cabaret space here in New York City called the Duplex, which is a historic cabaret space and bar in Greenwich Village. And it's right on Christopher Street, right down the street from Stonewall Inn, where the whole LGBT rights movement started. And it's a fantastic place to do the show because we call it church with a 2-drink minimum.
Oh, that's cutting edge, my friend, cutting edge stuff.
Well, everybody comes, it's like it's like a New Thought Church or a Unity Church or whatever, where everyone is welcome, It doesn't matter if you were raised Jewish or if you were raised Muslim or if you were raised atheist or whatever your belief system is, doesn't matter to me. What I want to do is connect with you in the sense of we are all divine. We are all expressions of the oneness, and we are connected by love, So that's my purpose, and that's how I find my audience, is anyone that's vibrating with that, comes to see me. Even those people that think they aren't vibrating with that tend to come see me because they want to find out what's going on, and then they leave and have a transformative experience. I've gotten so many wonderful emails, and there's so many great stories I could tell you about that transformational experience.
Reverend Yolanda, about that experience. Now, I'm sure that you must get people that show up there that have no idea. Maybe they're down in the village, they're looking for something to do, and someone says, hey, you got to go see Rev Yolanda, and they show up, and, you're just something totally outside of the box that they're, so used to, their comfort zone and stuff. How are you received by, obviously within the community you're received warmly, but people outside the community that experience what you bring to the table, how are you received by that group of people?
Well, I've very rarely ever had any sort of negative experience with people. There have been people that have walked out of my show in North Carolina, but I still didn't perceive that as a negative thing because after the show, I got a standing ovation. So
All
I was
right.
like, you know, it's one of those things where I definitely am challenging to people's notions of what is supposed to be,
Right.
and that occurs even within the GLBT community because, when someone looks at me as a drag queen, they expect a certain thing.
Okay.
Well, and that's different for everyone, but usually people have a preconceived idea about what a drag queen is and what they do, and people certainly have a preconceived idea about what a reverend is and what a reverend should do. And people certainly have a preconceived idea about what spirituality is and what spirituality is about, So, in just the combination of me being who I am, I tend to put out a vibe that is both attractive and can be challenging for some people, depending on their perspective and if they're willing to, be open to a new thought.
All right. Well, hold that thought. We're going to break away for our first break, and we'll continue this conversation when we come back.
All righty.
Viewers of Central Valley Talk, what is your home worth? The experienced agents at Mike Briggs Properties are offering a free property valuation if you mention Central Valley Talk. Find the value of your property for free. Call Mike Briggs Properties at 486-6758. Mention Central Valley Talk. Mike Briggs Properties, 486-6758.
Hi, Bob Rose for Car Bazaar Auto Sales. Wow! This month, only 0 down payment on drive-off. That's right, folks. 0 down payment on drive-off. Up to $2,000 trade-in value for your car. Monthly payments as low as $299.99. SSI and AFDC are always welcome here at Car Bazaar. 30 years in business. That's right, folks. 30 years in business. We finance anybody. And remember, folks, at Car Bazaar, your job is your credit.
Blackstone, south of Ashland.
Look at this house right across the street from Fresno City College. You could own it for $900 a month. Plus, it has an apartment you could rent out for $400 a month. Come to our open house this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Go to MikeBriggsProperties.com for details.
Let the professionals at William L. Mitchell Landscaping make your lawn and gardens beautiful. If you need a new lawn, landscape design, or if you need someone to take over the weekly drudgery of caring for your yard, William L. Mitchell Landscaping can meet your needs. With his ornamental horticulture degree from Fresno State, Bill is qualified to take care of all phases of your landscape construction and design. Call Bill at William L. Mitchell Landscaping at 283-8849. That's Bill Mitchell, 283-8849.
Lunch phone, what is your location, please?
I'm in Fresno's Tower District.
What is your budget, please?
I only have $7.
Well, that leaves you only one choice. Go directly to Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District. He is having a lunch special for $6.89.
Well, that won't leave me enough money to get a drink.
No worries. Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District will get you lunch and a drink for just $6.89.
Wow. I'm going straight to Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District to get the lunch special and drink for just $6.89.
Thank you for calling Lunch Phone. This has been a recording.
What? Open house this Sunday, 815 East McKinley, near Maroa. You can own this house for $1,800 a month. There's a whole apartment in the back that you can rent out for $1,200 a month and live in this house for $600 a month. Open house this Sunday. Go to MikeBriggsProperties.com for details.
In 1985, Larry Korth set out to help his friends, family, and community find affordable ways to buy a home or a business property. 30 years later, Mid-Valley Financial is the premier mortgage banker in the Central Valley. The professional staff at Mid-Valley will find the best mortgage products for your family. Mid-Valley Financial takes great pride in being the Central Valley's local lender. Visit us at midvalleyfinancial.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Well, welcome back to New Thought Talk. I am the Reverend Steve Walling from the Spiritual Awareness Center located in beautiful downtown Madera. My guest today is the absolutely fabulously outrageous Reverend Yolanda from the East Coast, out of Brooklyn, New York, presently, but originally from Muscle Shoals, Alabama. We got, in the first segment, we got a little bit of her history, and we're talking about, her evolution, and you've got this... I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the place where you play down the village. It's called the...
Oh, it's called the Duplex. Yeah,
the Duplex.
It's a great
Okay.
place, yeah.
But besides that, are there other centers that have opened themselves up to what you bring to the table? Have you been able to cross into churches of, a Christian background or, anything else? How's that working for you?
It's going great, Steve. I have to say, I'm so thankful to be living at this time in the United States, in the world, where consciousness is changing rapidly. And those that don't want consciousness to change are holding on really tight and screaming really loud about it. And we know that. But that's not what we're focusing on here. We're really connecting with a lot of churches, and it's so exciting. Of course, Unity churches and Science of Mind churches, Centers for Spiritual Living, Unitarian churches, of course, all of those have welcomed me tremendously. And I just got back from North Carolina playing at the Wild Goose Festival, which is a progressive Christian music festival. And it was amazing. I made so many connections with Methodist and Lutheran and Episcopal and Catholic and Pentecostal. Many of our traditional
That's
churches.
outrageously wonderful, because
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, you wouldn't be mentioning those names in a conversation of a positive level of positive acceptance of the LGBT community. Yolanda, there has been so much stuff, and we did talk about this, when we were talking earlier, that there's been so much stuff in the last couple of years with the marriage equality just pretty much, spreading across the country.
Yes.
Just all this stuff, and as a result of this, the trans community, which has kind of been the poor stepchild of the LGBT consciousness. I mean, everybody,
Right.
we talk, we've got gay, lesbian, we got that, bi, okay, we got that. But trans has always kind of been back. But now that is kind of, in consciousness, is moving to the fore, where people understand that it is something that is not just a subset. It is an entity unto itself. And
Yes.
as a representative, that as a spokesperson for this, you taking this out to the not just the local community, but out into a greater community. That's
Yes.
you got to be really amazed at how things are working for you.
Oh, I absolutely am. I mean, it's all God, it's all spirit. I'm in the right place at the right time and willing to do this. Like I say, I mean, I have a calling, and I've had that calling ever since I was a young man, and that was to be a music minister. And I didn't realize where that would take me, but as I discovered that I am both male and female, and that I consider myself transcendent gender, then now the full evolution of this mission, this calling, is so evident to me. And I'm not trying to hate on anyone. I love you all. You know what I mean? Like, the Christian church has played such an important part in my life. The Catholic Church, the Jewish synagogues, I have so many Jewish friends. I live in Brooklyn above a mosque. I have wonderful Muslim friends. There is nothing, or atheist, it doesn't matter to me, LGBT. Now, getting back to the trans community, when I lived in Vermont, I was, I led a transgender support group for many years. And I had the very good fortune to meet so many people on the gender spectrum scale.
Yeah.
There are not just two genders, and so our notion that there's this binary gender system and that's all that there is really what is destructive. Because, I mean, look at God. God itself has to be both male and female, or there would not be male and female in the world.
That's the rumor that I've heard anyway.
So one, it doesn't make any sense to me that, transgender would be demonized in any way because we are avatars as examples of the divine masculine and the divine feminine expressing through the human experience. Now, of course, I don't want to do away with the polarities either. I love my men and I love my women's, but I love everything in between.
Speaking of men,
Yeah,
we were talking. You got married. Tell everybody about how your marriage worked out to this. You've been together now how long? 10 years, you said?
But we've been together for 10 years. Yeah, we'll be celebrating our 10th anniversary this Thanksgiving, where we met through the Radical Fairies. Yay, Radical
Hey,
Fairies.
there you go, Radical Fairies. But you've been married 3 years.
Yes.
Did you celebrate? Or are you getting ready to celebrate your 3rd anniversary?
We are getting ready to celebrate our 3rd anniversary. So we have 2 anniversaries that we celebrate. But let me tell you about our wedding because it was so much fun. We the year that the marriage equality bill passed in New York City, New York State, which was 2011. Glenn got on his knees right here in my apartment and proposed to me and said, we have to get married. I'm like, of course we do. So we decided to get married in the New York City Halloween parade. Now, when I say that, I mean in the parade, not like somewhere else and then came to the parade. We got all dressed up. We looked fabulous. He was dressed like a black crow with his fabulous, mask on. And I was all dolled up like Marilyn Monroe, had my beautiful blonde hair and my big sequin dress. And we had our vows right at the march-off line for the Halloween parade, and then we got into a carriage, a horse-drawn carriage, and we rode through that parade going, yay, we're married! And that was the very first time the New York City Halloween parade had ever had a marriage ceremony of any kind. And the organizer of the parade was so excited about it, she moved heaven and earth for us to get into that parade because they had never had a horse-drawn carriage in the parade. So there were all kinds of things that had to happen. But, heaven and earth moved, and my husband Glenn and I got married in the Halloween parade.
That is fabulously outrageous.
It is.
That's so wonderful. So listen, let's bring him into the picture here real quick so he can come in and say hi to everybody.
He's bringing a chair over. This is, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my husband, Reverend Glenn Morton Ganaway, certified integral mentor.
Hey, hello, Glenn. It's good to see you. Welcome to the show. So tell me, Glenn, how is it to be married to this outrageously fabulous individual that you're married to?
Well, it's exactly what I want. I mean, I'm living I'm doing exactly what I want to do. She's right along the lines with everything that I'm about, making sure that there is a presence of love and peace in the world, and that it is an expansive force. And I adore Reverend Yolanda.
Yeah.
I adore
I'll
Yolanda.
bet you it's more than just adoration.
We have a mutual adoration society.
Yes, we do. We love each other. We love each other's company. That's why we're together, because we love to be with each other. We have a ministry together. We meet every Wednesday night and have a Course in Miracles group, and we build community together. It's an amazing life that we have, really.
All I want to do is be to work together. That's what I want.
That's wonderful. And how wonderful it is that we live in a world today where that is absolutely possible. Not only possible, but completely, it's great. The acceptance is so much greater now than ever before.
Yes.
And bless you both, because what you're bringing to the world is important. It's things that people need to see, experience, understand. And Reverend Yolanda, you bring this in a humorous way. You bring it in a flamboyant way, but you bring it in a way that touches people in their heart, that people can be comfortable with. And so someone that maybe has a little bit of an issue to get over, it makes it so much easier for them to get over. And maybe not right in that moment, but it will happen. And I'm not going to get on my soapbox too much, but this is the thing that I look at New Thought today, and I'm a religious science minister, but I vibrate more with a New Thought label, from Unity all the way to UFBL, RSI, so on and so forth. But the thing is, as I was telling you earlier, it's the message, and the message of New Thought is one of oneness, of inclusion.
Yes.
You go back in our history, we supported civil rights, we supported women's rights, we supported gay rights. It was, Reverend Ken Gordon from CSL made an announcement early on after the two organizations came together about CSL being supportive of, marriage rights and stuff. And we've been there at the forefront. And this is the message that we bring. And how great is that? And you two are taking that message out into the world. I got to notice we're going to be cutting away here in just a moment to our second commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Andy and Ike and this movie thing that's coming out, because how outrageously fabulous is that? So hold that in mind, audience. We'll see you when we come back, and these two lovely people.
Look at this house right across the street from Fresno City College. You could own it for $900 a month. Plus, it has an apartment you could rent out for $400 a month. Come to our open house this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Go to MikeBriggsProperties.com for details.
Hi, Bob Rose for Car Bazaar Auto Sales. Wow! This month only 0 down payment on drive-off. That's right, folks. 0 down payment on drive-off. Up to $2,000 trade-in value for your car. Monthly payments as low as $299.99. SSI and AFDC are always welcome here at Car Bazaar. 30 years in business. That's right, folks. 30 years in business. We finance anybody. And remember, folks, at Car Bazaar, your job is your credit.
Blackstone, south of Ashland.
Lunch phone, what is your location, please?
I'm in Fresno's Tower District.
What is your budget, please?
I only have $7.
Well, that leaves you only one choice. Go directly to Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District. He is having a lunch special for $6.89.
Well, that won't leave me enough money to get a drink.
No worries. Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District will get you lunch and a drink for just $6.89.
Wow. I'm going straight to Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District to get the lunch special and drink for just $6.89.
Thank you for calling Lunch Phone. This has been a recording.
What? Open house this Sunday, 815 East McKinley, near Maroa. You could own this house for $1,800 a month. There's a whole apartment in the back that you could rent out for $1,200 a month and live in this house for $600 a month. Open house this Sunday. Go to MikeBriggsProperties.com for details.
This segment is brought to you by Horn Photo in the Villaggio at River Park. For all of your photo and camera needs, go to Horn Photo in the Villaggio at River Park.
Let the professionals at William L. Mitchell Landscaping make your lawn and gardens beautiful. If you need a new lawn, landscape design, or if you need someone to take over the weekly drudgery of caring for your yard, William L. Mitchell Landscaping can meet your needs. With his ornamental horticulture degree from Fresno State, Bill is qualified to take care of all phases of your landscape construction and design. Call Bill at William L. Mitchell Landscaping at 283-8849. That's Bill Mitchell, 283-8849.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Well, welcome back, folks. It is New Thought Talk, and we're talking New Thought here with Reverend Yolanda and her lovely husband, Glenn, Reverend Glenn. And we've been talking about all this stuff. But as we've been talking about your shows and stuff like that, during the commercial break, you mentioned something about a woman that came to one of your shows. Share that with the audience, if you would, please.
Oh, I love this story. One of the audience members brought their mom to come see my show, and they're both from the South, and were raised in a traditional Christian church. And the son is gay, and he thought his mother would really enjoy seeing me. So he brought her, and she got very upset, and she thought I was making fun of stuff, and she was about to get up and leave when he said, "Please just stay." And she did, and she realized that it was all about love. And by the end of the show, she was completely clapping and singing along and having a great time. She bought my CD, and then after the show, she waited for me and came up and hugged me and said, "I love you. I never thought it would be a drag queen that would bring my son back to the Lord."
But you know, that's part of the ministry, and you touch people that way. Now, you also have a website. What is your website?
My official website is yolanda.net, YOLANDA.net, and you can find everything on there. The music, the movie, the Kickstarter, everything's on there.
Videos, lots of videos.
Yeah.
And lots of, okay, but that brings up the movie. I had the opportunity to interview Ike, Allen, and Andy Anderson a while back, and they were telling me that they're doing this movie with this incredibly interesting individual, and that led us to getting a hold of you and setting up this interview. But you've got a movie that's come out that Avaya has put out. Tell us about this movie. This is really, because this is going to take Reverend Yolanda from kind of an East Coast celebrity, and it's going to open up the whole country to this whole message that you're bringing. Talk to me.
I believe so, and I'm really, really thankful for this. Glenn and I, every week we do a radio show on awakeningtogether.org, awakening-together.org. And it's a Course in Miracles radio show, and we study and teach from an interfaith perspective. Awakeningtogether.org is connected with Regina Dawn Davis, who is Regina Dawn Akers, I'm sorry, who is an incredible channel of wisdom and has written many books. Anyway, so we do our weekly broadcast, and the moderator of the room suggested that I contact Ike because he was looking for a project that involved a drag queen that sang country music. And I said, no way. And that was a Course in Miracles person. And so I said, there's no way. You've got to be kidding. And he goes, no, you've got to contact Ike. So I immediately wrote him an email. He immediately wrote me back, and we did a back and forth thing for a little bit, and he looked at my videos and everything, and they decided that I was the perfect choice for their project. And so they came last November.
And we lived together for about 3 days.
We did. We lived together with Ike and Andy and Christina, and they came and filmed the entire show at the duplex, and they filmed interviews with me and Glenn, and they filmed interviews also with people that come to our weekly meetings and that we have interactions with in a ministerial capacity. And I am so proud and honored to be the subject of this documentary. It's Reverend Yolanda's Old Time Gospel Hour, the movie, which Ike calls the Rocky Horror Picture Show of country gospel music.
Right. I think we've got a clip or an image from the thing. Actually, go ahead and put this up, Bill. This is a picture of Reverend Yolanda. Is that not absolutely fabulously gorgeous? That's just great.
Iconic.
Here's another one of her. I mean, come on, can you get behind that or what? And do we have?
We're in church.
We've got the thing from the movie, don't we, Bill? That's it. Yeah, we're gonna slide this over here and put this up, and we'll keep this up for a bit. This is Keep Calm, Get a Facial, and Carry On. Reverend Yolanda's Old Time Gospel Hour, the movie. And there is a little thing down below there that talks about the Kickstart program for this. And if they go to yolanda.net, they can get to that Kickstarter. I know that Ike, people that are friends with Ike can put that up. And you are about 30%, I think we were talking about, not quite 30% to your goal for this Kickstarter thing. So, I mean, and you've got like 3 weeks left. You're only in your first week. I expect that you're going to blow this out of the water here real shortly. And I want to talk to my audience at this point in time. You got to go and you got to support this, because this is the kind of stuff that opens up consciousness, opens up minds, but ultimately it opens up hearts. And that's what it's all about. And that's the ministry of Reverend Yolanda. She does it through music. She does it through performance. She does it just through the fact that she's living by choice the way that she was created to live. And that is the message of New Thought.
Amen. It is.
That's wonderful. Now, you're going to be coming out for the, no pun intended, but you're going to be coming out to Colorado in September, right?
Yes, the premiere of Reverend Yolanda, the movie, is September 5th in Boulder, Colorado, at the Unity Church there. And we'll be going to Boulder and Denver and Fort Collins and Aurora. and we'll be showing the movie at different unities and centers for spiritual living, also at a theater called Bass Blue, and we're intersecting with the LGBT Pride celebration in Colorado because it's taking place at about the same time. We're crossing over. So we're connecting with the LGBT community in Colorado. I'm very excited about that. Yeah.
You know, that's you're gonna kick it off. This is gonna be good. Are there any plans for you to have an opening out here in the western part of the country, or is that still, in the planning stages?
Excitement is building.
Yeah, excitement is building for both the California and the New York openings. That's one reason why we're doing the Kickstarter campaign right now. We're creating funding to do film festivals and distribution and getting, traveling to all of these different places where we want to go. So that's a very helpful thing if you can contribute to it. It'll help us do the LA and the New York opening as well as major distribution throughout the country. So that's a helpful thing.
Gee, that's not exciting at all, is it? That's wonderful. So, all right, you two. Now, you've got your ministry and you've got your music and you're working on the movie. What are we looking at? Do we got anything on the horizon that we're looking at for a future extravaganza of sorts?
Oh, of course. Well, my ultimate goal is to have a television show. I want to have a national television show. So, because I'm very interested in helping America understand about the American family, and also that LGBT people are just like you. You know what I mean? Like, we're all the same, in other words. So what I want to do, even though we're dressed different or have different sexual orientations and all of that, that doesn't matter. But what I'd like to really create is sort of an Oprah Super Soul Sunday type of show where you get to visit with me and Glenn and many of our friends, and we talk about spirituality, we sing together, we have a great time, and that we just connect with you on a different level, on a very soulful level, rather than necessarily a performative or out there kind of level. So that's my goal, and that's actually what I do when I go to churches and even on stage, is I make it really, really personal, because I want to help you understand that we are one, and I just happen to like to wear makeup in big wigs, I mean, like, that's okay.
I've heard that we are one rumor.
You want to wear, and I wear my wigs.
Oh, that's
the
great.
The message is really about, it's really important that you are yourself.
Yes, you are yourself.
It's really important that you're you. The world needs you to be fully you. Yes. We can't wait for people to hide it anymore.
Yeah.
Please come out as yourself.
Yeah. It's about authenticity.
On a serious note, that is very, very important.
Yeah.
I mean, that truly is a heart message. To be you, and to be accepted as you, and to accept other people as the you that they are. And all of a sudden, when we've got all of this, becomes the realization that we are one. That there's just truly a oneness. So, we're doing good. Okay, I've got a couple minutes left in this segment. So, Yolanda, you got that guitar in front of you. What are you going to do with it?
Well, I think I'll pick a couple of tunes here. Let's see. Oh, I just lost my pick. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Let's do an old-fashioned medley. How about that?
That sounds great.
Here we go. Some glad morning when this life is over, I fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, bye bye. I'll fly away. my heart to stay. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of spirit in my heart. And I'm so happy, so very happy. I've got the love of spirit in my heart. Okay, here we go now. Y'all sing along. This little light, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Well, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, hide it under a bushel. No, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. No, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Last time, this little light, all right, all right. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Woo! Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Woo!
Very good. Very good. You know, you look like you're having way too much fun when you do that. Oh, that's great. You know, we're going to be moving into our last segment. This really has been a joy, and I appreciate the time. So, as we move into the last segment, Bill, go ahead and put that across there, and that's what we're looking at. Reverend Yolanda's was Old Time Gospel Hour.
Right.
So we're going to cut away to our break, and we'll see you when we come back. Hang on, folks.
Viewers of Central Valley Talk, what is your home worth? The experienced agents at Mike Briggs Properties are offering a free property valuation if you mention Central Valley Talk. Find the value of your property for free. Call Mike Briggs Properties at 486-6758. Mention Central Valley Talk. Mike Briggs Properties, 486-6758.
Hi, Bob Rose for Car Bazaar Auto Sales. Wow! This month only 0 down payment on drive-off. That's right, folks. 0 down payment on drive-off. Up to $2,000 trade-in value for your car. Monthly payments as low as $299.99. SSI and AFDC are always welcome here at Car Bazaar. 30 years in business. That's right, folks. 30 years in business. We finance anybody. And remember, folks, at Car Bazaar, your job is your credit.
Blackstone, south of Ashland.
Look at this house right across the street from Fresno City College. You could own it for $900 a month. Plus, it has an apartment you could rent out for $400 a month. Come to our open house this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Go to MikeBriggsProperties.com for details.
Let the professionals at William L. Mitchell Landscaping make your lawn and gardens beautiful. If you need a new lawn, landscape design, or if you need someone to take over the weekly drudgery of caring for your yard, William L. Mitchell Landscaping can meet your needs. With his ornamental horticulture degree from Fresno State, Bill is qualified to take care of all phases of your landscape construction and design. Call Bill at William L. Mitchell Landscaping at 283-8849. That's Bill Mitchell, 283-8849.
Lunch phone, what is your location, please?
I'm in Fresno's Tower District.
What is your budget, please?
I only have $7.
Well, that leaves you only one choice. Go directly to Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District. He is having a lunch special for $6.89.
Well, that won't leave me enough money to get a drink.
No worries. Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District will get you lunch and a drink for just $6.89.
Wow. I'm going straight to Bobby Salazar's in the Tower District to get the lunch special and drink for just $6.89.
Thank you for calling Lunch Phone. This has been a recording.
What? Open house this Sunday, 815 East McKinley, near Maroa. You could own this house for $1,800 a month. There's a whole apartment in the back that you could rent out for $1,200 a month and live in this house for $600 a month. Open house this Sunday. Go to MikeBriggsProperties.com for details.
In 1985, Larry Korth set out to help his friends, family, and community find affordable ways to buy a home or a business property. 30 years later, Mid-Valley Financial is the premier mortgage banker in the Central Valley. The professional staff at Mid-Valley will find the best mortgage products for your family. Mid-Valley Financial takes great pride in being the Central Valley's local lender. Visit us at midvalleyfinancial.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Well, welcome back to New Thought Talk. I am the Reverend Steve Walling from Spiritual Awareness Center located in beautiful downtown Madera. We have had such an incredible show today with our guest, Reverend Yolanda, and we've been joined by her husband, Glenn. And so as we're moving into this last segment, there's just so much that we may have to do this again sometime. But as we were in the commercial break, Glenn, you were telling me that you co-produce with Reverend Yolanda all that you do. So what is it, all that you do?
Oh my, Mighty Companions Ministries does a lot of different things. We call ourselves an edutainment ministry.
We do.
And we host workshops. We have a Wednesday night group here of about 80 people in New York City. In Manhattan meets weekly. And we have 2 podcasts as well. One that's taken directly from ACIM Gather, that with awakeningtogether.org, they provide the foundation for it, and another with Reverend Yolanda's Old Time Gospel Hour on KWER FM. So 2 podcasts, in addition to personal counseling, webinars, workshops, and that kind of thing. I'm a certified integral mentor and a reverend in my own right, and I really teach ACIM from an interfaith perspective.
Gee, I'm sorry you don't have anything to do to keep you busy. No, that's great, Glenn. Contact information for anybody that's interested in any of that stuff. Would Yolanda.net work as contact information?
Yes.
Okay.
Our website for the ministry we do together for Mighty Companions Ministries is themightycompanions.com.
Themightycompanion.com. Okay.
And you can access that also on Yolanda.net by clicking on Mighty Companions Ministries. You'll see it on the menu. So.
Excellent. Now also, if I go to Yolanda.net, I can purchase, you have a CD or multiple CDs, right?
I have multiple CDs. I've been recording, for many, many years. My latest CD is called Reverend Yolanda's Country Gospel Kirtan, and it's all original music that I've written, and it has a country gospel feeling blended with Hindu kirtan music. So it has, I'm really amazed at how kirtan music intersects with country gospel music. It's quite fascinating to me. And so this CD was in the submission process for the Grammy nominations in 2013. Of course, I didn't get nominated, but I was in the submission process, and I was really proud of that.
How about that?
Because of this CD, I came to the attention of Michael Packer, who's a blues musician and founded the Blues Hall of Fame. And Reverend Yolanda is going to be inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame on January the 4th, 2015, here in New York City at B.B. King's. I'm just so thankful.
That's outrageous. That's great.
I know.
And you're also, next year in 2015, you're the headliner for the ACIM conference in New York, too, aren't you?
Yes, I can't wait for the ACIM conference. It's in April, and that's happening here in New York City. It's going to be the greatest thing. I can't wait to see all of my favorite teachers, Regina Dawn Akers and Earl Purdy, and just all of my favorite people in the world that have taught us so much and given so much to us. And I'm going to get to sing, yay, on the Sunday morning service. Reverend Tony will be putting all of that together, and we are just really thrilled to be a part of it.
That is absolutely wonderful. Mm-hmm. Life is just opening up and unfolding for you two in so many wonderful ways, and I want to thank you for taking the time out of this day, and each and every day is an important day, so this is an important day to spend this time sharing with me and with our audience. Reverend Yolanda, Glenn, all the stuff that you bring to the world and that you're going to bring to the world, how fabulous is this? You know, you two are great, and it's an honor to have a chance to get to know you and to share this time, and I appreciate it so very much. I want to thank you for being with us today on the show.
We're
Thank
grateful.
you very much. We're very grateful, very blessed. Blessings to you and your family.
Blessings to you, and we will be working together in the future. I know it as I'm sitting here.
I know too.
Looking forward to that.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right. Well, thanks again. And all right, did we not have a great show? I mean, come on. This has been absolutely incredibly wonderful to have this time with these two beautiful people. We've learned a lot. There's just so much on their plate that is unfolding, and I'm excited. I'm excited for them. And you know, we're able to do this, to bring this show to you, because this is my ministry. This is what I do. I've been told we have a rather expansive audience now, and that's fine, because what we're doing is we're reaching an audience with what we call New Thought, of its many different flavors, types, and colors that are out there. And you know, today, in the world today, people are looking, they're hungry for a place to experience their spiritual drive, that urge within them to make a connection, but they don't connect with what I commonly call old thought, you know, and they're looking for something. And I'm gonna tell you, you need to consider looking into New Thought, into Unity, UFBL, Science of Mind, or whatever, because we have an understanding of a consciousness of, one, that God is all that there is, and there's nothing apart from God. And you know what? On a side note, I just was reading again this morning that science has discovered that our brain is hardwired. We're absolutely hardwired to believe in God. We're absolutely hardwired to seek out some kind of religious, spiritual experience. That urge is in you, and as I was reading this morning, one of the scientists that was writing in this particular research article said, you know, it's not such a great leap to go from, if we're hardwired for this belief in God, if we're hardwired to seek out religion, that maybe there was something that did the hardwiring for us. So if you feel that urge, if you have that desire, but you haven't found a place to connect with, there is a New Thought Center that is near you somewhere that you can find. And you can go online to a website that is called findacenter.com, no spaces. You go there, and any New Thought Center in the world that this organization has been able to find, they have posted contact information. Now, if some of the centers have contacted Serving New Thought and they support their particular posting in this, it may be a little more enhanced. There'll be more information that they can put on there, and these organizations, these various churches and centers can actually work on their own listing if they choose to do so. And that's very powerful as an advertising tool, if you will, for the various centers. But if you're a seeker out there and you're looking for a way to connect, this is a place that you can go, findacenter.com. And the other thing that you can do, and you can do this today when the show is over, you can go to newthoughtlibrary.com. You can find books there by most of the pioneers of this New Thought consciousness. There's Emerson, there's James Allen, there's Abel Allen, there's Ernest Holmes, Fenwick Holmes, the Fillmores, just the founders of Divine Science. They're all there, and it's there for you to read. You can pick up this stuff. You begin to understand, you know, the concepts of New Thought, the teaching of New Thought, and how you can relate to that, and how you can grow yourself in a spiritual way that is beyond what most people have any clue that is available to them. There is a power and a presence for good in the universe that is available to you when you avail yourself to that power and presence. But you've got to know it first. So, you know, I want you to take those resources and I want you to use them. Also, I want to tell you that if you happen to be here locally in the Central Valley, Sunday mornings at 10:30, come on out to Madera. We're at 218 South D Street, the Spiritual Awareness Center. We are a non-denominational New Thought spiritual place, home to celebrate the spiritual being that you are in so many different ways. And you can show up, you'd be amazed at the warmth and the love that is shared there, or maybe you won't if you've had the experience of a New Thought Center in the past. There are other centers here in the Fresno area. There's the Oneness Center, there's New Thought Community, there's the CSL Center. You can look them up online, places that you can go where you can make that connection. I want to urge you here locally to get out and do it. And finally, the last thing I want to do is to tell you that you can support. You know, I have great support here in this studio. Bill, the tech guy, and Mike that owns the station, they have been absolutely incredible in supporting me and my ministry and what I do. But you can also help, and you can also help support. You can do that if you go to maderasac.com. You can search around, you can find the donate link, and you can donate to us through PayPal. And anything that you donate, you can write off as a tax deduction, as long as you make a notation on that you know what it is that you're donating for. It helps support us. It helps that we can continue to do this and get this word out. And we go out not just locally, not just statewide, not just nationally, but we go out internationally. How wonderful is that? So keep that in mind, folks. We can always use your support. It doesn't take much but a click here and a click there, and a willingness to give. So as I close out the show, as I do each week, I want to remind you that the light of God surrounds you, that the love of God enfolds you, that the power of God protects you, and the presence of God surrounds you. Because no matter where you are, God is, and all is well. Make it a great day. Make it a great week. You can make it a great life. Take care. Blessings, and I'll see you next show.